Welcome back to Introduction to Visual Art. I'm sure many of you are in the throes of your midterm exam essay, which is due on Wednesday. Make sure you get that done, get it in, and then focus on the rest of the week's work. From this point on in the semester, we'll mostly be talking a certain subject per day. And these subjects are an introduction to a type of art making, a method of art making, the medium, if you will. And so this week we'll be talking about drawing. Before we get started, I do want to speak about two assignments that are now posted on Blackboard. The first assignment is assigned today, and it is due this coming Sunday night. The assignment is to make a drawing. If you remember back at the very beginning of the semester, I outlined that we would be doing three artworks or making three artworks. The first artwork is assigned and due this week, and that is making a drawing. On Blackboard, you'll find the project handout for this assignment, but I have it pulled up right now, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So it's assigned October 5th, and it is due October 11th. My description. It is time to hone your craft as an artist and find the artist within you. Do you like to draw? Is there an artist inside you screaming to get out? This is the first of three artworks that you'll be making from home. There is no talent needed to complete this assignment. No time, only time and patience. Again, there's no talent needed. I am not testing you on how good you are of an artist. Really, all I want to do is expose you to different methods of art making. And this method should be pretty easy, and it's drawing. I'm sure most of you have drawn in the past, and some of you might be pretty good at it. But all I really want to see is a drawing that you actually concentrate on, that you actually spend time on, and then you submit it to me. Easy 10 points. So you are asked to make a 1 to 3 hour drawing. I know it sounds long, but you might like it, so give it a try. Again, it is no big deal. Just sit back, think happy thoughts, and draw the items in front of you. Below are requirements for the drawing. Requirements. It must be drawn on white paper with no lines. Printer paper is perfect, but don't make the drawing any smaller than that. Find your favorite pencil, eraser, and pencil sharpener. You may also use ink or charcoal or whatever. Select 3 or more items from the following list and arrange them on a tabletop. A book or books, coffee mug, your favorite stuffed animal, 1 or 2 shoes, a small houseplant, some sort of hand tool, literally anything else you can find. So you don't have to have everything that's on this list, just choose 3 of them. You can do more if you want, I'm not going to stop you, but what you're going to do is you're going to draw what's in front of you. So again, after all your items are arranged on a table, get comfortable in a chair or on the floor, then draw all the items. This is called a still life, and it should take you 1 to 3 hours to complete. Grading. If I can tell that you spent time on the drawing, you'll get all the points. If it is obvious, if it obviously took 5 or 30 minutes, you'll get partial credit. Turning it in. Take a photo of your drawing with your phone and send it to yourself, then upload it in the assignment folder. A link to the assignment page will be in the Week 6 folder on Blackboard. your phone may use this. I do want to emphasize this. Your phone may use some crazy format, something that my computer won't be able to understand. If you can view your image on your computer, try taking a screenshot of the picture and then upload that file. .png, JPEG, and PDF are all acceptable formats. I believe this assignment is pretty straightforward, and I believe you'll have fun. I do not want you to stress out about it. I do not expect masterpiece drawings. I do expect that you give drawing a try. And I think that homework of 1 to 3 hours is a pretty fair thing to ask. So have that turned in by Sunday night. There's another assignment that you'll find. This is in the long assignments folder or module on Blackboard. This is a project that is worth 30% of your final grade. You just did your midterm exam. Consider this more of a final exam. It's not due the last day of class, it's due before the last day of class, several weeks, but it is the next big project. This project has more points than any other project in the class. So I'm going over this handout, number one, because it's complicated, and number two, to just get the information across and to make sure you are on the right track. So first off, I do want to say that I've taught this class several times, and I've only taught it in person. I've never taught this class online. So there have been some modifications to this class, especially because of the pandemic. And so I'm writing this disclaimer just to tell you where I'm coming from. So let's get started. Each semester, I assign a version of this assignment, where each person in the class is required to visit one of Chicago's great art museums, select several artworks, and write about them. I have modified the museum visit essay to account for museums being closed or nearly inaccessible due to the pandemic. What had made this project fun in the past was in part visiting the museums in person. Many students in this class have never been to an art museum, and I look forward to the days in which they are again open to the public and safely accessible. I hope that in years to come, each student in this class will feel comfortable visiting museums either alone, with your family, or even on dates. But until then, we are stuck doing virtual visits to museums. In this assignment, we will in fact be visiting the collections of museums virtually, and hopefully we will be able to learn from these cultural institutions even from a distance. That is my disclaimer. Now let's talk about the description of the essay. In this assignment, you will be doing a visual analysis and interpretation of a contemporary artwork of your choosing. In this project handout, you will find links to many of the world's great art museums. You are to follow those links and search through digital collections and archives of those museums in order to identify one work of contemporary art made within the last 50 years that you wish to investigate further. This selected artwork is the primary basis for your paper. It can be made in any medium and focus on any theme as long as it was made on or after the year 1970. Let's go over that paragraph again. I am telling you to click on a link. The links are in this document, or copy and paste them into your browser, and visit the online collections of different museums that are in that are around. And you're going to select one contemporary artwork made within the last 50 years. So then, what do you think about your primary, what do you think your primary artwork is about? Make a quick list of ideas and then venture back onto the internet. Select 2 more artworks by different artists, each from 2 different museums that seem to have similar content. These secondary artworks could have been made any time between ancient history and today. And then what I want you to do is write a 5 to 10 page paper that is a full visual analysis and interpretation, just like what you just did for the midterm. So a full visual analysis and interpretation of your primary contemporary artwork. That's the first one that you chose. You need to do a full visual analysis and interpretation. Your secondary artworks should function as a compare and contrast to your first artwork. So these are the second 2 artworks that you chose. The format and outline of your paper doesn't matter to me as long as it fulfills the content requirements below. These are the content requirements. It speaks about the 3 different works of art and then attempts to tie them together conceptually. Your museum visit is an exercise in interpreting art, and additionally, it is a research paper. When writing, consider the historical context of your chosen artworks and also the pertinent biographical information of the artist that made them. So again, we have our 1 primary artwork that we selected, and that is an artwork that is contemporary, made within the last 50 years. We're going to do a full visual analysis of it. And then I want you to weave into your paper a compare and contrast that compares the artwork that you chose with 2 other artworks that are found from 2 different museums. The other artworks can be ancient, they can be Renaissance, they can be medieval, they can be made in the 1800s, they can be made in the 1900s, they can be made in the 2000s. Your other 2 artworks can be anything. But I do want you to compare and contrast them with your primary contemporary artwork that you chose. Content requirements. I promise, if you go down this list and you touch on every element in the content requirements, you will get a passing grade for this. So pay attention to the content requirements. These are the points that you will be that I'm looking for and you'll ultimately be graded on. So, describe in great detail your primary artwork. Analyze the design elements, shapes, lines, colors, etc. Give a personal interpretation of your chosen work. What is the communal interpretation of the work? You will have to research this. Find information about this artwork that you have chosen to write about. Or if you cannot find information about that artwork, what does the artist generally focus on in their artwork? You can research this. You'll find it. Compare the artwork to 2 secondary works. These are the other 2 works that you'll find at different museums. Research and describe the pertinent biographical information of the artist. I don't need to know stuff that ultimately doesn't matter. What is the pertinent biographical information? Where were they born? Were they alive during World War II? Does World War II affect how we should view their artwork? Does the Vietnam War affect? If the artist is from Africa, what part of Africa? What was going on in their childhood? What could lead any artist to make the art that they're making? Try to figure some of the pertinent biographical information out. Research and describe the state of the city, country, world, etc. in which the art was made. These two might go hand in hand. They might not. But if it takes understanding what's going on in the world in order to understand the artwork, you better research what's going on in the world. Make judgments on the work. So ultimately, do you like it? Do you not like it? If you like it, in what way is it working? If you don't like it, in what ways don't you like it? Be conscious of the principles of interpreting art. Good principles get good grades. So be fair. Think about the principles. These principles, if you remember, are on last week's presentation, but also they are in a handout that I gave called Cheat Sheet. Every essay must be a minimum of 5 pages, 12-point font, Times New Roman, double-spaced, 1-inch margins. You do not get full points if you do not write 5 pages. If you write 4 pages and you write 1 paragraph on the 5th page, that does not deserve full points. So make it 5 pages. Do not exceed 10 pages. Be cohesive, use good grammar, be smart, be elegant, be concise, don't ramble. I am not an English professor, but I do expect to have writing that I can understand. If you have difficulty writing, there are resources on campus for that. There is a writing academy on campus where they give you writing help. Every paper needs to have a works cited page featuring a minimum of 3 sources. That is research. So consider the research of the time and of the place, research of the history of the artist, the biography, and research of that art, and maybe a couple others if you should choose. At the end of your essay and after your works cited page, you are required to attach a minimum of 3 color images. Make them large and 1 to a page. That includes image of your primary artwork and, sorry, this should be shifted over, an image of your other 2 secondary artworks. Use library databases for research. Select art only from the approved museums list. This is the approved museums list. And below that talks about online library resources. I am not expecting you or requiring you to go to an actual library, but I do expect that you use the resources. When doing your research, be sure to use the available Harper Library resource. Got it. Okay, so following the content requirements, we have approved museum list. Here, you can click on any of these links, and you click on this link, and we have the collection of the Art Institute of Chicago. Looks like my internet. Okay. So this is the collection, and you can type in print. Well, let's type in sculpture. These are a bunch of sculptures, right? If you like the artist Bruce Nauman, we could type in his name, get more information. So select these links to view the artwork held in different museums. Online library resources. When doing your research, be sure to use the available Harper Library resources found in the library's website. First, I'm going to do a Google search for Harper College Library. I click that. From the library website, select Research at the top of the screen. Research. Go down to Databases. Here on the Databases page, scroll through the Subjects menu. This is the Subjects menu. And we're looking for Art, Design, and Performing Arts. And these are the resources that are going to help you in your research. I've listed my 3 favorite resources. One of them is called Art Store. You'll have to sign in using your student ID and password. Just your regular Harper student ID and password. So, if I want to find more artwork by Bruce Nauman, I can type it in. Look, here is the image we just saw. Now, if you notice, it gives you information about the art, but it doesn't give you information like any writing about it. This is simply an image resource, an image database. If I want information on like any writing about Bruce Nauman, I will select JSTOR. Now JSTOR won't necessarily be easy to navigate. It can be kind of academic and a little heady. But let's see what we can find. Okay, that didn't work. Find my institution. All right. Let's do Harper College. Search. There it is. Log in. All right, so let's type in, after we logged in, I logged in with Harper College. Why don't I type in Bruce Nauman? And we do have some images here, but here are the articles. You can even download a PDF. This is an article written by either by or about Bruce Nauman. I'm not sure. So it can, like I said, it can be difficult to navigate this site, but like to find stuff that's truly helpful. But you'll be able to get something, hopefully. And then the next database that I want to show you is called Oxford Art Online. I think a lot of you will like this website because it is more of an encyclopedia. If you don't know where to start here, and it'll give you an overview of any topic. So I just typed in Bruce Nauman, and this seems to be a bit of a biography on him. Describes him as an American conceptual artist. It tells you that he received his master's degree from the University of California, Davis, and on and on. And then check this out. It has a bibliography. So these are all resources that I can fall into a rabbit hole and read more about them. So this will give you some more information. I find this very useful, and students do too. If you've noticed, there are locks, red and green locks. I don't know why some are locked and some aren't. But you search for a lock that's open and green. Here's another one. This is not an article, but an image. Anyway, go through these websites. Also, you can talk to a librarian. You can chat with a librarian on the library's website and get some information from them, hopefully. So then grading this assignment. Please be aware that you will be graded on the successful completion of the above requirements. Furthermore, this essay is worth 30% of your final grade. Please take this assignment seriously and complete it in good time. Do not lie, cheat, or steal. Academic dishonesty guidelines will be enforced. If you have questions about either of these assignments, email me. I know that it's complicated, but I think you can do it. If you want to send me any information or anything that you've written before the due date, I'm happy to look over it and help guide you along. This assignment is a little bit open-ended and sort of how you're going to go by paragraph to paragraph and how it's all organized, but I think you can figure it out, and I'd like to see what research you can do. So let me know if you have any problems. That's it for the assignments. I'm going to go ahead and close this video, and when you are ready, you should pick it up again with the drawing lecture.